Cool little 26-foot Flagstaff here at Lite RV of Coldwater, Michigan. Just got traded in. Easily half-ton towable. The weight on this is only 4450. Like I said, easily half-ton towable. Flagstaff is one of Forest River's premier lightweights and has been for a long time. The overall condition of it, I'd say, is very good. There are a couple things I would say are less than perfect, and I'm going to actually take the time to point those out to you because I do believe in honesty in sales, and I believe in integrity. And if I see you in Walmart, I don't want to have to duck down the dog food aisle when you're buying a head of lettuce. I want to know that you and I can meet each other head on, and I can smile and shake your hand, and there's no ill will between us. So I'm going to try to represent this thing fairly and honestly. The good news is that 99% of it's in good shape. I do like the front window on here. It gives you a lot of extra light inside. Power tongue jack, so you don't have to get tennis elbow cranking on your jack there. Flagstaff is a fully laminated product, not just the sidewalls, but the front wall and even the rear wall, the sides of the slide out. They're all laminated. That's one of the reasons they're able to keep the weight down and the structural integrity up over time. Good looking aluminum wheels down there. Let me look at the tires. I haven't looked at the tires real close. Let's see. I don't see any weather checking. Looks like we still got some good tread. I'd say these are some pretty good sneakers on the old girl. Oh, I like seeing little preventative maintenance stuff like this. Little mud dauber screens. That keeps bugs from climbing in your furnace exhaust and creating a potential fire hazard. Now this is neat. It has a full rear wall garage over here. What this is doing for us is it's giving you the perfect place for all of your outdoor storage in one little go. At some point, I don't know if it's been wind or if they've maybe had a little repair on the door or what it might be. This door is bubbled a little bit, but it's still solid. So I don't think it's not delamination because it's still solid. I don't know exactly what got us to why this is bubbled a little bit. If these folks towed this quite a bit, there's actually a negative air pressure on the back wall as the air slipstreams down over the top and up from the bottom. And it could have pulled that thing out, kind of like getting a hickey, but on a camper. Kind of different. I've never seen that, but I can't see anything that's necessarily wrong with it either. It still is structurally intact. Big awning. You couldn't really put a much bigger awning on this. Pardon the diesel noise here. It's cold this morning and we have a run to make, so we're letting her idle and stay warm. Let's hop inside actually. We'll get away from the roar of that diesel engine. Pardon me, close the door behind me so we can hear one another. This is one of the other things I wanted to point out. And remember, I'm not ducking any of this. I'm going out of my way to show you what I see so you can make an educated decision. You can see a little split in the flooring right here. This is actually just like tongue and groove click type, little linoleum planks, not linoleum, but little wood planks basically. And what it is, there's a soft spot on the floor right here, which in this range of years, Flagstaff over time became a little bit known for. When this trailer was first produced, lightweights were really still in their infancy. Lightweights really were only first built in the very late 90s, so they had less than a half dozen years under the belt of building lightweights when this came out. And brand new, everything seemed fine, but after about 7-8 years, what they started discovering is they didn't have quite enough cross members in the floors. And the floors, it wasn't a leak issue, it was just walking on them would start to break down the bead foam inside quicker than they expected. So what the previous owners did here, rather than try to cut apart and fix a laminated floor, which is nearly impossible, they just added this little floor on top for weight distribution purposes, and you know what? It works just fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with how this works. You may not like this aesthetically. If you're not necessarily comfortable with what you're looking at, I do understand and respect that. And keep in mind, that's why I'm telling you about this stuff, so you know you can trust us here at Lite. But there is nothing wrong with this. This is perfectly functional. I'm 200 some odd pounds. I've walked all over this floor. There is nothing wrong with it. Looking up here, one of the ways they keep the weight down on this also is that we have a smaller slide. But any slide is a good slide. There's no such thing as a bad slide. Because what this does is it gives you enough room where if two people are moving around your living area here, you don't stumble into one another and bump into one another and annoy the life out of one another on a camping trip. It makes all the difference. I tell people all the time, buy your second camper first. And it's hard to understand what that means until you've owned an RV, but usually what that means is, do I get the one with a slide or no slide? The answer is you get the one with a slide, because you're never going to regret it. However, people trade stuff in all the time because it didn't have enough space. Previous owners were very happy with the RV. I do want to point out, by the way, bed stands with power outlets, so you can charge your phones, run your CPAPs, all kinds of good stuff. What I was mentioning there, previous owners were very happy with this RV. It was their first. They bought it pre-owned, and they only had it for about 3 months. At the time, they had a GMC Envoy, and they couldn't tow anything larger than this. They went camping and went, wow, we're really having a lot of fun, but I wish it was a little bigger. And they just swapped this out for a really large sandpiper that we had here at Haylitz. So, you know, they bought a brand new truck for it. There were people who were willing to invest money into making things right and keeping things right. It is super clean in here, by the way. The floor tracks that you saw on that flooring back here, that's my fault. There was none of that in here until I stomped through the trailer. So look at a couple construction longevity items. The cabinetry, you know, the ceiling, everything is top notch in this. That's how the walls, the slides, everything is built that way for, you know, longevity and structural reliability. Central air as well. This is a fantastic spring, summer, fall couples camper. That's exactly what this is made for. People who, it's a smaller thing. People who don't necessarily need the giant fifth wheel. People who just want something to go out on a couple weekend trips, or they want to go on some long distance trips. This is your camper. It's perfect. I also do like the fact that we have a little seating area back here in the shower. And notice they have both a skylight as well as the bigger power vent fan. It's those upgraded niceties that brands like Flagstaff have always been known for. Flagstaff is a sister to the Rockwood brand that we feature here at Haylitz, so I'm very familiar with how this is put together. This is something I like too. This is a classic feature. The little pull-out totes. You don't, well, what's funny is they kind of phased out of the RV industry, and you know what's funny is they're coming back. I'm starting to see them back in campers now. So, you know, it's one of those classic never dies kind of things where retro becomes modern once again. Give us a call, 800-256-5196, Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. Take care, stay safe, happy camping.